At Studio Fight Club, we crowned our first Aotearoa Heavyweight Champion, and tonight he makes his first defense of the title, facing a dangerous and volatile challenger in the form of this man, Rufguts Roddy Gunn. Burns, Rufguts has been so successful around the country, he could not be denied by the Warrior Wrestling matchmakers, and they selected him as tonight's #1 contender, stepping in the ring and posing a very real threat to Pat Schisk's Aotearoa Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, a lot of people argue this should have been JB Tangata Ese, but it's hard to argue that Rufguts Roddy Gunn isn't every bit the #1 contender to Pat Schisk's Aotearoa Heavyweight Championship.
The Bohemian makes his way onto the stage. That Aotearoa Heavyweight Championship firmly around his waist, a position in which he wants to keep that belt as he gets ready to take on Rufguts Roddy Gunn in our massive main event. Bohemian steps into the ring. Take a good look at him. Aotearoa Heavyweight Champion. He earned that championship in a no disqualification 4-way matchup at Studio Fight Club. And tonight, Burns, it's one thing to win the title, but another thing entirely to hold on to it as Schisk hopes to make his first defense.
That's right, at Studio Fight Club. He had 3 opponents, none of which were planning on fighting Pat Schisk.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. This is your main event! Introducing first, the challenger, weighing tonight at 110 kgs, fighting out of Valley Professional Wrestling Academy. He is a former New Zealand sumo representative, multiple-time pro wrestling champion, the man known as Rufguts. And now, weighing tonight at 110 kgs, hailing from Aotearoa South, he is the reigning, defending Aotearoa Heavyweight Champion, Pat Schisk.
Both men tipping the scales at an even 110 kilograms tonight. True heavyweights colliding over the Aotearoa Heavyweight Championship. Pat Schisk hands that championship across to the referee. Will that be the last time Schisk lays his hands on the title? Is tonight Rufguts' night? Can he dethrone Schisk in his first defense and become Aotearoa Heavyweight Champion himself? Or will the Bohemian have the answer for everything that Rufguts brings to the table and retain his title for the first time as this matchup officially gets underway?
Yes, how will Pat Schisk handle the pressure of being Aotearoa Heavyweight Champion? He's the first man to hold that title, and this is the first defense of that title. So he is the first person to experience the pressure of defending that championship.
And Rufguts would absolutely love to spoil the party. He's no stranger to playing the spoiler in the past. Has held a number of championships around the country. Notorious for what he brings to the ring in the Wellington region.
Yes, there's perhaps no more apt a moniker in New Zealand professional wrestling than Rufguts for Roddy Gunn. It describes his style perfectly. contrast. Pat Schisk, more of a hybrid athlete. He trains grappling at City Kickboxing. He trains at the same gym as many UFC fighters. He's got a background in Olympic wrestling. He's trained at the New Japan Dojo in Tokyo. He has a true hybrid style and is an incredibly well-rounded professional wrestler.
At Studio Fight Club, he achieved his destiny, became the first Aotearoa Heavyweight Champion. But you see there, Rufguts trying to use a handful of hair, but Pat Schisk able to take Guts to the mat all the same. I think it's a very tight side headlock.
In our champion here, I think we see a man who's demonstrated potential, immense potential for more than a decade, and is now the best Pat Schisk that we have ever seen. He is more than living up to all that potential that we have seen for so long, and is now a truly great champion for New Zealand Pro Wrestling.
Schisk adjusts the position of his hips and uses that military handstand to break out of the leg scissors from Rufguts Roddy Gunn.
That's right, and that headstand using his hands to shift the ankles of Rufguts towards Rufguts' spine, creating that space.
Lighting Schisk up in the corner there with these palm strikes, calling back to his days as a sumo wrestler. Back elbow from Schisk rocks Rufguts. Schisk heading to the middle rope. Drop kick out of the corner. You don't see that every day from Schisk.
That is a heck of a missile drop kick there from the second rope, and then locks that headlock back in. Grounding Rufguts Roddy Gunn, locking the arm between the legs.
A little slap to the face, creating effect from Schisk.
You're giving him just a little receipt there for some of those palm strikes earlier. You know, Pat Schisk he can rough it up a bit when need be too. But I think to his advantage, he should stick to the more traditional approaches that he's so well trained in.
Rufguts Roddy Gunn thinking about a hip toss maybe.
Schisk throws the line, ducks, drops down. Both men avoiding each other, and Rufguts just for a moment lost track of where Pat Schisk was at, and paid for it with an elbow to the jaw.
Found out where Pat Schisk's elbow was in a hurry. Right in his face. And now the champion setting.
He's looking for that bomb track.
The pump handle. Rufguts with a rake of the eyes, slips off the shoulder, avoiding the bomb track.
Bomb track, how Pat Schisk won the Aotearoa Heavyweight Championship at Studio Fight Club.
And the champion unceremoniously dumped over the top rope to the outside.
And his lower spine and maybe the hips really caught on the corner of the ring there on the way down. And that could... You never know how that's going to go. That can be a career-ending injury, it can be a match-ending injury, it could be a match-turning injury.
And Rufguts heading out of the ring here to stop the count. Of course, the championship would not change hands in the event of a count-out.
Just back to his feet, I'm glad to see that. Big boot right to the jaw. And both men now taking incredible shots to the jaw here. You heard that impact echo around Westlake.
Schisk sent head first into that ring post. Unforgiving steel to the skull.
Yes, when it's steel versus skull, there is only one victor, David Dunn. And Gunn breaking the count sensibly. He doesn't want to win by count out, but he certainly doesn't want to lose by count out here tonight.
The onus is on the challenger to defeat the champion by pinfall or submission. Both of those will have to take place inside the ring. But there's nothing to say that Rufguts can't dish out an ungodly amount of punishment on the outside of the ring.
Well, I think as we saw that lower spine of Pat Schisk hit the edge of the ring, I think Rufguts Roddy Gunn saw it too. And he's now bending that spine around the steel post.
What's your language, friend?
And you've always got a bullseye on you when you are the Aotearoa Heavyweight Champion. And now Pat Schisk with a bullseye on that lower spine as well. Hooking up for the neck breaker now.
Drops him down, does Rufguts. Under the cover, a great deal of pressure on the shoulders, but did not hook the legs. Schisk able to kick out.
Come on, champ!
A hard shot to the lower back, but Schisk fires one back of his own.
Come on, champ!
I was asking Pat Schisk earlier today just what the greatest lesson he learned from his time in Japan was. He was telling me that actually the best lesson...
And look out! 1 second away from losing the championship there.
The greatest lesson he learned in Japan was about himself and his ability to focus his mindset through suffering, to keep going. And that is how we have seen Pat Schisk evolve into the champion that he is today. There is in the past, one could say Pat Schisk didn't have that strength, didn't have that mindset, had all the physical attributes needed, but didn't have the mental strength that he does today. And that is why we're seeing him really in his peak form rising to the top of New Zealand Pro Wrestling.
The Rufguts can turn up the suffering, no doubt about that, as Schisk goes up and over, looking for the sunset flip. Can he get the big man down?
That is a difficult position to have any leverage from, even if you are training with New Zealand Commonwealth Wrestling.
And Rufguts following up on the leg drop to become champion here. 1 second away from taking the title from Schisk. Again, Rufguts back to the cover, forcing Pat Schisk to expend a lot of energy to kick out to keep his championship reign alive. And bit by bit, if Rufguts can put that little bit of water in the basement, take that little bit of gas out of the tank, eventually Schisk won't be able to kick out. And the Aotearoa Heavyweight Championship will be heading back to Wellington.
It's no easy feat pushing 110 kgs off of your chest and shoulders. It is trying to keep you down, and it does wear you out.
And Rufguts now changing his tactic from the pinfall, thinking about a submission instead. Again, dialing up the pressure.
You can see him pushing that left shoulder and chest down onto the head of Pat Schisk, creating that kink in the neck on that chin lock.
But Schisk has fought his way back to his feet.
Ducks the clothesline, but not that one. Oh, you could hear that, David Dunn. What a left arm clothesline there from Pat Schisk.
Both barrels firing on that lariat, missed with the right, but boy did he connect with the left.
Both men down, we're at the count of 4. Roddy Gunn up to a knee. Pat Schisk up as well.
Matchup will continue. Aotearoa Heavyweight Championship on the line as Schisk and Rufguts trade shots in the middle of the ring. Right now it appears that Rufguts was starting to get the better of Schisk until Schisk caught on these knife-edge chops.
Yeah, no clear favourite in the strike-off
Big
here.
headbutt from Rufguts, willing to risk his own health to dish out damage to Schisk. And a back body drop puts the challenger down.
Wraps up for the belly-to-belly overhead. What incredible technique, popping the hips. Pat Schisk.
Into the cover is Schisk. Rufguts has got a foot on the ropes.
The referee saw it. Breaks up the pinfall.
And Burns, is there anything to read into that there, that Rufguts this time did not kick out, opting instead to get a foot to the ropes?
You could either read that he hasn't got the energy to kick out, or you could read that he was very well aware of his positioning and didn't need to exert energy kicking out. I'm sure Rufguts will tell you it's the latter.
Rufguts appears to have enough energy to scale to the top rope now. Slowly but surely getting his feet under him as he takes his 110-kilogram frame.
This could be a make or break moment here for the #1 contender, Roddy Gunn.
Schisk finds a home for that knife-edge chop time and time again.
That's a heavy impact. That's his entire forearm crashing into the chest of Rufguts Roddy Gunn, and he seems to have taken control as both men stand upon the second rope. Nowhere good to go from here. Oh my goodness. Oh, I get nervous, David Dunn.
A huge superplex drops the challenger, but how much did it take out of Pat Schisk as well?
When things start climbing the ropes, often things go badly for all involved.
Schisk with an arm over, Rufguts barely gets his shoulder up.
That is the price you pay for high-risk offense. You can certainly... It seems Pat Schisk has got the better of the exchange.
Schisk rolls over to his stomach, makes his way back to his knees now, back to his feet.
You can see him favouring his spine though. You have to say Roddy Gunn has been somewhat focused on both the upper and lower spine. And we're going for that bomb track again, that championship winning manoeuvre.
Rufguts desperately trying to stop Schisk from connecting his hands.
Yes, he would desperately want to avoid the pump handle pile driver. That is the bomb track.
And the palm strikes may do it. Beautiful hip toss technique from Rufguts. Signalling for the rough driver. Can the challenger push Schisk away?
Just slips out the back. Back elbow from Gunn.
A headbutt again from Gunn.
Yeah, the hardest part of the human body is the human head.
And there's a rough driver.
As a weapon.
The rough driver from the challenger. Champion is down, and Schisk just kicked out of the rough driver. Rufguts now thinking rear naked choke.
Yeah, he smells blood. He's already been knocked silly with that rough driver, and now he is preventing any blood from getting to the brain.
Deep under the chin, the hooks are in with the legs. Pat Schisk's arm is dropping for a second time. One more and he's out. One more and we have a new champion. And Schisk, somehow, a last burst of adrenaline.
He's got to be running on instinct here after that rough driver and this sleeper hold that is locked in deep. He's got the back of Pat Schisk, but Schisk slipping through. He's slipping through. If he can get Rufguts up here. Oh, Rufguts not used to being that high in the air.
Both men take a spill over the top rope. Pat Schisk winds up on the outside. Rufguts back in the ring.
Yeah, I dare say he shifted his momentum well. That was an excellent counter from Rufguts Roddy Gunn. What has he got in mind now, though?
Gunn looking around. You got to be kidding me. Rufguts!
Oh, caught! Pat Schisk caught him.
And thrown with a belly-to-belly suplex on that unforgiving floor.
Boy, it tells you something about Pat Schisk. He not only catches a 110 kg missile, he then launches it over his own head, down to that solid concrete floor.
And Rufguts landed hard.
You can hear him coughing. He has potentially suffered damage there to internal organs, and he's struggling for air right now. May have broken ribs. That would not be surprising at all. There is no padding here on the outside here at Warrior Wrestling. And it would be such a shame for this night to end with both men counted out on the outside of the ring, but it would certainly indicate the hard-hitting nature of this contest.
Schisk back to his feet now, rolls under the bottom rope at a count of 9. Can Rufguts do the same? 9.5, he breaks the count. The challenger still in this fight, but after that belly-to-belly suplex, you've got to wonder for how much longer.
Yeah, you don't even wonder if that was wise to get back in the ring. Oh, he's blocked the headbutt that time.
Rufguts used that headbutt to great effect earlier in the matchup, but now Schisk rocking his world with shots to the jaw, and he's got guts up. And he drops him down on the top of his head with the bomb track.
Still your champion, David Dunn. Pat Schisk. What a hard-hitting effort and well-earned victory for the Aotearoa Heavyweight Champion.
Pat Schisk makes a first successful defense of his championship exactly the same way that he won it, dropping the bomb track. You can call him the Bohemian, and after tonight you can still call him the champion. Pat Schisk finds the answer to Rufguts Roddy Gunn. He puts away the first contender to his championship as he raises the Aotearoa Heavyweight Championship high. Schisk remains your champion tonight.